We all have a person in our life who we look up to and are incredibly in awe of. This person handles life with grace and inspires one to be like them. This person for me is my father, and my father's name is Doug Brown. Throughout life's struggles, my father has handled it with grace by being loving, selfless, and hardworking. To start off, my father is loving. He loves his family unconditionally, and with our family dynamic, he is the person that any of us can go to. He's the one that we always go to for advice. He always tells us what is best for us instead of what we want to hear. My father is always a listening ear, and he always goes out of his way to check on our mental health. My father supports each family member however possible. He'll show up at any event to support us, whether that be a sporting event, a fine art event, or any other thing. He inspires us to achieve all of our goals, no matter what it may be or how far-fetched they may seem. Not only does my father love his family unconditionally, but he also loves others unconditionally. He loves his friends, and he will always be there for them to answer no matter what. He also loves his kids' friends. He loves them as his own and treats them with love and respect. My father also loves strangers, and he will love and help anybody no matter what. In fact, my father's job is to help others as a social worker. My father is not only loving, but he's also selfless. He has dedicated his life to helping those in need. My father also gives to charity year-round, and his typical charity is to give to those women and children who have been abused. He also, each Christmas, allows me and my mother to pick one charity of our choice to give part of our Christmas to. My father also helps people get out of bad situations. My father is a hands-on advocate for those who can't speak for themselves, and he also counsels those who are having relationship or family problems. When not helping others, my father is also teaching the future generation of social workers. My father teaches at UNA, and his main goal is to let his students know that they are loved and that they're getting a good education. My father even develops relationships with these students that lead to recommendations and lifelong friendships. My father also, on top of all of this, counsels year-round. But my father also supports his family even if it leads to a bad spot. My father takes care of my mother's parents financially and physically, and he also takes care of me and my siblings as adults so that we are living comfortable lives. My father goes out of his way to make sure that all of his family is happy and healthy. My father is loving and selfless, but he is also hardworking. My father, as I was a child, my father was a full-time pastor and a DHR advocate. He would travel to preach an hour and a half every Sunday and Wednesday, and he would also make visits to sick church members each week. But during the day, my father worked full-time at DHR, and he would be on call at nights. My father handled both gracefully, even if it meant he got no sleep. When my father got older, he then became a supervisor at the Children's Aid Society Focus Program, and he also worked as a full-time pastor with this. Then my father got to achieve his lifelong goal and became a professor at the University of North Alabama and also counseled on the side. This would include working from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 5 days a week, and then he would counsel 4 days to make for over 12-hour days. My father would still be there for his family no matter what, and he handled all of this with grace. To close, my father is the person that's there for me and loves me most, and he's the person who I look up to in life, and he handles life with grace by being loving, by being selfless, and by being hardworking.